Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the 15th edition of Texas Longhorns here live. I am your host, Matthew Miller. You can find me right there on X at MatthewMS97. If you want any more of me than you get on this Monday, and we'll probably be adding a show pretty soon when the season kicks around. I'll probably be reacting to Sark's press conference every week as well. Also, subscribe to the SEC channel. Really helps us out. We're very close to 1,000 subs over there, so go over, hit that like button, and subscribe, just like it says down below with all of our channels. And the USC show with Matt Zemek and Tim Prangley, they do a fantastic job over there at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. So it's 7 here Eastern time, and 3 hours Eastern time, it will be the Trojan show over there on MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football, USC channel. And then we have the Amazon link in every description of every video. Hit that link. Doesn't change your buying experience at all. All it does is put a little change in Mark's pocket. So please go down there and use that when you go to Amazon to buy your energy drinks, your new water bottle, whatever you're going to buy. I bought a lot of stuff for Prime Day. I use that, help put money in Mark's pocket. So please go do that as well. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for being here. Again, the 15th edition. And guys, you see that little plus recruiting update? Listen, I don't mind recruiting. I really don't. But it's gotten so hectic and everything. I'm just thanking God we're super close to Texas actually kicking off in almost a month. It's almost a month away. Super excited for football to kick off. Fall practice is in less than 48 hours from now. I believe 2 something on Wednesday. So super excited for that. And we're going to be able to talk real football. And we'll have a fall preview for you, fall battle, if you will, in a second. But before that, we will talk about 4-star defensive lineman Josiah Sharman flips to Texas. A month ago, he chose the Oregon Ducks over the Texas Longhorns. When his head hit that pillow, according to everyone in the know, he was a Texas Longhorn. When the sun rose, maybe before that, he got up. He decided, no, I'm going to Oregon, and flipped, and everyone was surprised. He had already given quotes saying, I want to go to Texas and why I chose Texas. And he went to Oregon. And then all of a sudden at the pool party last Thursday, he decides, I made a mistake. I'm going back. I think his mom played a big role in that. Apparently he's obviously super close with his mom, and his mom wanted him to go to the University of Texas. He was probably going to go there anyways. Then something changed. Now he's committed to the University of Texas. Helps us out a lot. We did not have a defensive tackle in the class, a true defensive tackle. And we get one now. This guy is versatile. He's athletic. He's got long, lengthy limbs. He's basically like everyone so far that Sark has recruited on the defensive line. A big frame who's athletic, who can put on more weight. And he's done a fantastic job in getting these guys in the class. And it's funny how the mood changes. I put out a video, I think, a couple days after DeCorian Moore and Josiah Sharman decided not to come to Texas and said, guess what, guys? Calm down. Hold up. Pump your brakes. There are multiple guys in this class that won't be in this class, and there are multiple guys that weren't in the class that are going to be in the class. So Josiah Sharman was one of those guys that I could talk that was possibly a flipping. He has flipped for now. This is another reason why I said I don't really like recruiting, because guess what, guys? In a month later, he could go back to Oregon. I have no idea, but for now, he is a Texas Longhorn, and we welcome him. We hope he stays because we definitely need the help on the defensive line. Myron Charles also was thought to come to Texas for that pool party. Florida State commit, one time. Texas lean also, kind of not the same as Josiah Sharman. I think that was a true 50-50 situation between Florida State and Texas. Whereas Josiah Sharman's always seen Texas, then flipped to Oregon at the last second. He decided not to go to the pool party. So Texas will continue to work with that relationship, as Sark says. We'll see what happens. They're not going to give up on it. It's going to be very interesting what happens there. But I think there's a good chance that they do flip him. We'll have to see. But overall, it's funny the way this changes, guys. You know, Sonny put out a video on this channel saying, should Texas panic? Texas should put all their might. And Sonny and I see things a little bit differently. I think Texas is doing fine right now. Could they be doing better? Absolutely, they could. And I said they're going to flip some guys. Here's one. And I really do believe he'll stay in the class. I don't think he'll flip back. And I think there's a good possibility that we get some more flips into this class. So overall, really good, positive weekend for Texas and last week for Texas. you have a great defensive line class right now. You have Smith-Orogbo, who committed. You have Lance Jackson in the fold. You have Josiah Sharman and possibly flipping Myron Charles. And here's some other guys. We're going to give you a recruiting update really quick. Defensive lineman DJ Sanders from Belleville, Texas, is down to Texas and Michigan, it seems like. I think Texas A&M has kind of fallen out of favor with him. I think it's going to be Texas or Michigan. Obviously, he's from Texas, but he does have family in Michigan. I think there's a chance he goes and visits, according to TJ as well, that he goes and visits Texas versus Michigan at the Big House. Hopefully, Texas can get that win. And hopefully he doesn't have a great time at Michigan. Obviously, I don't hate Michigan, but this is a good player. We definitely would love to have him, and we need him in the class. DJ Sanders and Josiah Sharman would be a nice 1-2 combination at the defensive tackle position, and then Lance Jackson, Smith-Orogbo on the outside would be very nice. 5-star Michael Terry was also at the barbecue, and he seems to be a Texas lean at this point. But again, guys, we have those mangy little ducks out there on the West Coast who are also in this recruitment, and not a fan of them because they have stolen multiple guys. Luckily, we were able to get Josiah Sharman back in the fold, but he seems to be down to Texas or Oregon. Oregon wants him at running back. They already have Jordan Davis in the fold. Jordan Davis, I forget the last name there. I think Jordan Davidson. And Texas wants him at tight end, but we also have Nick Townsend in the fold there and Emery Winston. I have a feeling if Michael Terry does commit and Emery Winston think he's playing tight end, Emery Winston will drop out of this class. No offense to Emery Winston. I will take Michael Terry. Michael Terry's 5-star. He's a high 3-star. I will take the longer, more athletic version at the tight end position in Michael Terry. I think it's 50-50 between Texas and Oregon. We'll see. Whatever position he decides he wants to play is where he'll end up. Next up, a guy that I didn't think we could possibly get in a month and a half ago, Jonah Williams, safety. I thought he was going to go to Oklahoma at one point. I thought he was going to go to Texas A&M at one point. Oregon was in the mix. I think it's going to be Texas, Oregon, or Texas A&M. I think Texas is in a really good spot. I think they're in a really good spot. A couple reasons why. His family are highly recruited athletes. None of them have left the state of Texas to go play any sport. They haven't. So I think that bodes well for Texas. Oregon is hard to get to if you're a recruit. A&M, we hold the edge there because this guy's a hell of a baseball player. He may never even play college football. He may just play baseball. He may get drafted and decide, I'm not playing college football. I'm going to go play baseball, pursue that. And next year's MLB draft. And we took Texas A&M's baseball coach, Jim Schlossnagle, at Texas. He is there now. He had a really good relationship with him at A&M. That translates to Texas. Listen, this guy's going to boost your recruiting rankings, and it's cool and all. I just want to know if he's going to play college football. If he's not going to play college football, I honestly don't care. Like, he'll look good in the baseball uniform. He'll play for Texas baseball, and he'll look good, and he'll have help, and he'll help us out there. But football-wise, unless he truly loves football, I think he's the guy that's going to play baseball. The guy's throwing 95 already off the mound. He's probably going to end up playing baseball. You make more money being an average baseball player than you do an average football player. So, and you don't have to worry about CTE or anything like that. Kid, go play baseball if your heart desires. Next up, 5-star wide receiver Khalil Lockett. August 7th. So we're talking about, 9 days from now, 10 days from now, whatever that is. Quick math off the top of my head. He will be committing, and it will be to Bama, A&M, Florida State, Texas, and LSU. LSU is starting to throw their hat in the ring. They lost to Corian Moore, and I think they said, we got to go get a big wide receiver, big-time wide receiver. And they're starting to make moves here with Khalil Lockett. They're also going to try to go and throw some change at Jamie French as well. Speaking of Jamie French, his date is August 30th, and Texas seems to be the leader there amongst Texas, Tennessee, and Miami. But Miami is starting to throw the kitchen sink at this kid, so we'll see what happens there. You knew they would do that. Miami's got a lot of money. They're willing to spend it, willing to spend crazy amount of money. Can they finally win with it? We'll see. I think that will influence his decision too. Like, let's say he does commit to Miami. If they lose, he'll be out of there quicker than you can snap your fingers, guys. I really don't think he'll be there that long if Miami starts to lose. But, man, if Miami's just going to outspend Texas, they could land this one. They really could. But there seems to be a whisper around his recruitment that he doesn't want to stay in the state of Florida, so he may not end up there no matter what. We'll have to see. I think Texas is comfortable there. If I had to get, my barometer on this is around 70%. I think he's a 70% Texas lean, and then Miami and Tennessee are second place there. We'll see what happens, though. Never know. And then to me, the number one guy on the board here, and it's not looking great for Texas right now, is Michael Fasusi, the 5-star offensive tackle. He took a visit to Florida because the recruiting director at A&M left for Florida, I guess. So he was really good friends with him, went to Florida. We'll see if that has any impact. I don't think it does at the end of the day. I think Florida's going to be a 6-6 team this year at best. And I don't see him going there. I think it's down to Texas, Oklahoma. His commitment date is the 22nd. And sadly, I think he's going to Oklahoma. And this hurts, man, because in my opinion, if I had you could ask me this 3 months ago, and I said the same thing. I think the three guys for me in this class that I really wanted were Corian Moore, Michael Fasusi, and Josiah Sharman that were kind of on the fence. The ones I knew we were getting, I don't have them in that list. And to land only one of those guys at this point is a disappointment. That is disappointing. I will say that. But overall, I think Texas is doing a good job recruiting. We will get some more flips, guys. I'm very positive of that. There will be guys in this class that we haven't even looked at, too. I think there's guys we have not offered that will be in this class. That happens every year. Jelani McDonald is the case, that a guy on the roster right now. So we'll have to see what happens, but that is your recruiting update. These will get slimmer and slimmer. Thank God, because real football is back. And it's going to be so exciting for the season to kick off. But before I get into the fall battles, guys, the fall battles, which is next, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. My viewership has crashed the last 2 weeks. I don't know why. It was starting to go up. It's come down. I don't know what the hell's happened, but please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Share it out with your friends, your family, your neighbors, any Texas fans, any non-Texas fans, any football fans in general. Share this out. It really helps out the channel. It really helps out what we're trying to do. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let's jump into these fall battles. Some of these, I wouldn't say they're battles because let's just get it started and I'll explain. Running back, Cedric Baxter versus Jaden Blue. This isn't a battle in my opinion because someone's getting 60% of the carries. The other one's getting 35 to 40% of the carries. Cedric Baxter last year in his freshman season, 13 games, 659 yards rushing, only 4.8 yards per carry, 156 yards receiving, and 5 touchdowns total. Had injury issues, guys. Every time I saw him either deliver a big hit or get a big hit, he was limping off to the sideline. He has to gain muscle and gain armor. He has to. This guy's super talented. I really like him. When he was healthy, he was explosive. But if he's always going to be nicked up, he will never reach his full potential, a la Jonathan Gray about a decade back when the 5-star came in, highly touted, kept getting injured, never amounted to what he was supposed to do. I'm really hoping Cedric Baxter can stay healthy because the guy is obviously talented. He was the number 1 ranked running back coming out of high school last year. When he's on the field, he was really good. The physicality that comes to mind to me, guys, Alabama. He delivered a hit on the side of that Alabama, stood over the guy. I forget who the player was. Might have been Deontay Lawson, which was even more impressive. But this guy, in me, has to gain weight, especially muscle, and lower his pad level. He runs very stiff and high up. He's got to get lower, guys. And then Jaden Blue, in my opinion, the best running back on the team. I've said this for a while now. 98 yards rushing, 6.1 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, 135 yards receiving, and 1 touchdown. I will say this. Cedric Baxter is pretty good out of the backfield catching. He's better than most fans think he is. He's not Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue is the most electric pass-catching wide receiver running back we've had, since Jamal Charles. That's my opinion, but that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to say since Jamal Charles. And he's just explosive when he gets the ball in his hands and gets in open field. Tracked it over 22 miles per hour last year. And he even said, I was taking it easy. And he was. If you go watch the game, I think it was it was either Tech or Wyoming. After 10 yards, there's no one near him, so he kind of slowed down. I think he could touch 24 miles an hour. This guy is special to me. This guy give it to him. He can break a tackle, take it to the house. If I'm distributing carries, guys, I'm giving Jaden Blue 60% of the carries. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be 60-40 Cedric Baxter. And I'm not saying total carries. I'm saying split between the two. Obviously, Christian Clark, Jared Gibson, Trey Wisner will get some carries in there. I'm just saying between the two main running backs, I think it's going to be 60-40 Baxter, when in my opinion, it should be 60-40 Blue. But that is your running back camp battle. Next up, the wide receiver position. Not the top-end talent that we had last year, but the depth is there. 7 wide receivers, all mentioned at SEC Media Days by Steve Sarkisian. But he doesn't play 7 wide receivers. He never really has. It's always 4 guys, and then a 5th guy gets some play, and then that's really it. So does he really mean that? We will find out, because he's never been in the past. I will say this. He's never had a wide receiver room this deep. All of his tend to come off at about the 4th guy. The 5th guy, there is a fall off. I don't think there's a fall off. I think all 70 of these guys are really good players. I have put a couple things on record in the past. I said Jonathan Brooks would be better than Bijan Robinson in his 1 year at Texas. He was when he was healthy. I said Byron Murphy was going to be a freak. He turned out to be a freak. I already said Ryan Wingo with Mark. I think Ryan Wingo is the most talented and will be the most productive wide receiver since Roy Williams. I really want to say out of these 7 wide receivers that all 7 make the NFL. I really want to say that, but I can't say it. I can't say it. I think all 7 have a chance, though. And I will say this. I think 6 out of the 7 of these guys play in the NFL for at least 3 years plus. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say all 7, but I think 6 out of 7 do. And we will get into these 7 wide receivers. Isaiah Bond last year, 14 games at Alabama, 668 yards on 48 receptions and 4 touchdowns. Matthew Golden in 9 games at Houston, 38 receptions, 404 yards, 6 touchdowns. Silas Bolden, 13 games at Oregon State, 54 receptions, 746 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And DeAndre Moore, Ryan Niblett, Ryan Wingo, and Jonte Cook have no catches between them, but DeAndre Moore, 4-star, Ryan Niblett, 4-star, Ryan Wingo, freshman, 5-star, and sophomore Jonte Cook, 5-star. Very, very talented room. Not the high-end production that you had last year. How do I think these snaps will be divvied up? First off, I don't think there's going to be a designated X, Y, and Z guy. I don't. I think Sark's going to blend these guys all around, play multiple spots. Do I think they'll play in mostly one position? Absolutely I do. I think Isaiah Bond will probably be your X most of the time. I think Silas Bolden, when he is on the field, will be the Z most of the time, maybe the Y. I think DeAndre Moore will be in the slot or the Y most of the time when he's on the field. Ryan Niblett, I think, is probably an X or Z. I think Ryan Wingo is definitely an X or Z. And then Jonte Cook could probably play all 3, honestly. So Z's more in motion. X is usually your best receiver. Y is the tight end or slot, guys, just to clarify that. My gosh. Okay. Snap-wise, I'm literally doing this right now. I think snap-wise, I think Isaiah Bond is your number 1 in snaps. I think number 2 on the season, Matthew Golden is your number 2 in snaps. Number 3 on the season, I think Ryan Wingo is going to be your number 3 in snaps. I can't believe I'm saying that. Silas Bolden is going to be your number 4. Jonte Cook's going to be your number 5. DeAndre Moore is going to be your number 6. And Ryan Niblett's going to be your number 7. That's why I think that's going to shake up snaps count-wise. I think, like I said, I think Bond, Bolden, Golden, and Ryan Wingo are going to be able to play almost all positions here. I think Moore's most of it, if not all of it's going to be in the slot. Niblett is going to be on the outside. Don't see much slot. And Jonte Cook, I think, is going to, honestly, will probably be all around too. But don't remember, Xavier Worthy played on the outside and weighed 165 pounds. Silas Bolden's going to play on the outside at some point. He is. He's not just going to be a slot wide receiver. He's going to be the Z, actually, in most of these. I think he'll be in motion a lot at the time. I think the most reliable guy, your third down guys, are going to be Matthew Golden and DeAndre Moore. Jordan Whittington said DeAndre Moore's up next. He said DeAndre Moore is smart. He knows the route trees. He knows blocking. He's physical. I think he's going to be the third down guy here in the slot. And I think Matthew Golden is already being said that he has the most chemistry with Quinn Ewers. So I think Matthew Golden and DeAndre Moore are going to be your third down movers, chain movers. I think Isaiah Bond's kind of your do-it-all guy. And I think Silas Bolden's your gadget running down the field in motion guy. That's what I think is going to happen here. And I think Ryan Wingo is going to be a jack of all trades as well. I think Isaiah Bond and Ryan Wingo are going to be your biggest jack of all trades and be able to do most of, if not all of everything. I like this room a lot. Like I said, the top 4 for me are going to be Bond, Golden, Bolden, and Wingo. Ryan Wingo coming in third there, not fourth. And then I think Jonte Cook is 5th. And I think Jonte Cook's a hell of a player, but I think he's your 5th wide receiver. I do. I think he's going to be your 5th best wide receiver at the end of the year. I think he's going to have that's how it's going to come down snap-wise and probably production-wise too. Because if his production's better, he'll move up. But I think production, he's going to end up fifth, and snap-wise will end up fifth. I'm sorry to say that. And there's a chance he transfers. There really is. Because I think you're going to get Khalid Lockett and Jamie French, and then Ryan Wingo's coming back next year, and there's a possibility for Golden to be back as well. So this is a good room, guys. It's going to be fun. It really is. You're going to see way more motion, more screens, more attacking down the field with this team. I really like it. It's going to be fun. I think you're going to see a lot of those shallow crossing routes too, like Ohio State did. Just give it to Silas Bolden 3 to 4 yards ahead of on the line of scrimmage and let him run. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I'm really excited for it. Next up, again, kind of like the running back, not a true battle here, but Gunnar Helm and Amari Niblack. Gunnar Helm last year, 14 receptions, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns as a senior. This year, and Amari Niblack coming over from Alabama last year at Bama had 20 receptions, 327 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Gunnar Helm's going to be the starter. I'm just as shocked as you guys are. I thought going into last year, Gunnar Helm's NFL prospects were nil. Then I watched him, and I was wrong. That is something I was wrong on. I thought he was a 6th, 7th round pick. I think there's a chance he's a 3rd or 4th round pick. Guys, there might be a chance he gets drafted higher than Jatavian Sanders did last year. That's how good I think Gunnar Helm can be in this offense. He's a better blocker than Jatavian Sanders. I think he's a better route runner than Jatavian Sanders. He's not as good of an athlete in space as Jatavian Sanders, but I think he's craftier. I think he knows how to get open better. I think he's more of a Jason Witten type at the tight end position. I think he's going to have a hell of a year. I think when there is one tight end out there, which is going to be pretty rare because Sark loves 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, I think Gunnar Helm will be the guy. I do. I think you'll see him a lot more in the red zone than Amari Niblack. I think you'll see Amari Niblack attacking vertically a lot, and some screens with him as well is how you'll see him being used. But in the red zone, it's going to be Gunnar Helm. Amari Niblack will probably be the guy used about the same amount as Gunnar Helm in between the 20s. I think they'll split there, but I think the red zone is where Gunnar Helm's going to eat. I really do. And on 3rd down, I think he's going to be really good at moving the chains. But that is your battle at the tight end position. They're both going to get a lot of snaps. Like I said, Sark loves to play 12 personnel. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys, to watch. Like I said, I think these rooms are deeper this year. I don't know if they have the top end talent that they did last year. At the 1 offensive line position, guys, at the 1, I don't know who's going to win it. Left guard, Cole Hudson, Neto Umuzulu, or Hayden Connor. That's going to be your start at the left guard position. Hayden Connor has held that down for most of the time as long as he's been at Texas. Cole Hudson did play a lot as a freshman. He had 13 starts as a freshman, 9 games since then. He was injured a lot last year, though, which did hold him back. Neto has only played in 8 games, no starts. He's a junior. He's in the same class as DJ Campbell and Kelvin Banks, the 2022 class, which is a special offensive line class. And then Hayden Connor has 27 starts in 35 games. I think out of this room, Neto has the highest upside. I don't think he is the most ready at this moment. I don't think he starts the season at the left guard spot, and I don't think he should. Michigan is in week 2. Do I trust Neto in his 2nd start at the Big House? Not really. I will say this, though. He is in the right spot. He's between Jake Majors and Kelvin Banks. It would help him out if he did start. But I think Cole Hudson wins the job. I think Cole Hudson had a decent freshman season. He had a typical freshman season. Everyone points to Kelvin Banks, as they should. That is not normal. It is not normal to come in and dominate first game as a freshman. Cole Hudson was typical. It was, wow, he's pretty damn good. Wow, he's pretty terrible. Wow, he's okay. Wow, he's great. Wow, he's okay. He just kept going back and forth, and that's what he was as a freshman. Then the injuries came along, and we haven't really seen it. I think he's going to be a pretty damn good player if he does get the chance. I think he starts at the beginning of the season. I don't know if he finishes because Neto may be able to push him and maybe get in that starting spot, but I think it's time to move on from Hayden Connor. I like Hayden Connor. He's a decent player. I'm not going to say good. He's a decent player. But for this team to reach that upper echelon status, I think you need a really good guard here. And I think Cole Hudson or Neto is the answer there. I think there's higher upside there, higher potential there. I've seen enough of Hayden to know he's not going to be a great – he may not even play in the NFL. We'll see. He may not even make it to the NFL. I think there's a chance Cole Hudson and Neto do. I think they have that upside. I would go with Cole Hudson to start. If he struggles, I would put in Neto. But I'd go with Cole Hudson to start. I don't know what the coaches are going to go with. I have no idea. They may just go with the safe one, put Hayden Connor, since you have 4 out of 5 returning offensive linemen, basically, or 3 out of 5 because Cam Williams haven't played, but Cam Williams will be fine. I'm not even worried about him, but we'll see if they replace him here and make it 3 out of 5. It's going to be interesting. It really is. I have no idea, but I think Cole Hudson does win the job, at least for me. Next up, defensive tackle. We have one lockdown. Alfred Collins is going to be a starter at the defensive tackle position when we go with 4 down linemen. He will be in there. He was good last year. He was like a Pro Football Focus rate of, I believe, like 79. And when you compare that to, we add in Byron Murphy and Tavondre Sweat, who are 1 and 2 in Pro Football Focus grades at like 90 and 91, it's not great. But when you compare it to the rest of college football, it's a good grade. I believe when we were talking about Washington last year, Alfred Collins would have been the best defensive tackle Washington faced, Pro Football Focus grade-wise. So that tells you he's a good player. Is he a great player? No, but he's a good player, and I trust him. This is where it gets interesting. There's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names that are competing for that second spot. 7. You have Alex January, the freshman, who has been making names apparently. And there's a real chance, guys, he plays more snaps than the 5-star freshman at defensive end in Colin Simmons. That is crazy because this guy was only a 3-star. They were teammates at Duncanville, but he's been looking great. We'll see if that continues in the fall. Bill Norton from Arizona, 32 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 0 sacks. He is the run anchor on this defense. He is the nose tackle. He will line up over the ball. He is the run anchor. He's not great at getting after the passer, obviously, with 0 sacks. But he's good at eating up space, eating double teams up, and stopping the run, anchoring the defensive line. Tia Sevilla, also from Arizona, 22 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. Better at run defense than Bill Norton. He's not just good at eating up space. You can get in the backfield, cause a little mayhem there. I expect all these guys that I'm naming to get some type of playing time. Aaron Bryant appeared in 7 games, 6'2", 305 pounds, 4-star sophomore. He is the second best run defender, apparently, or anchor, I should say. Sorry, anchor on this team behind Bill Norton. So I think you're going to see him rotate in there when Bill Norton is gassed at anchoring and being the nose tackle, lining up over the ball. And I got to eat some crow on this. I said he wouldn't play that much this year. I'm taking that back. I think he's going to play quite a bit. I think he's going to get 15% of the snaps, which is quite a bit for a lineman, especially when you're this deep. Sadir Mitchell, 6'6", 350 pounds, appeared in 4 games. My question mark is the weight. Is he really 350? Has he ever been 350? Since he stepped on Texas campus, he was always between 365 and 375. If he's 350, he will play, and he will play well. If he's not, he will ride the bench, and he may not see the field, guys. And if he doesn't see the field, he'll probably transfer, and I really hope he sees the field. This guy's a good player. Georgia tried to flip this guy twice. That's how good of a player he is, and he can't stop eating. That is his biggest issue, is eating. Stop eating. Stop. If you stop eating, and I should say this, when I mean stop eating, eat healthier, make better decisions. You will be a millionaire if you do that. That's how talented you are. You are a freak. If this guy was in shape, I would say he's our second best defensive lineman behind Alfred Collins. Maybe even the best. He probably has the most talent out of this whole group, and he just can't get in shape. It's a sad story, man, and I hope someone can get to him. I really do, because he has a lot of talent. Jare Bledsoe, I think, will end up being the second best guy. It's the opposite. He doesn't have as much talent as Sadir Mitchell, but he's taken the talent that he does have, and he is very talented. He just doesn't have as much as Sadir Mitchell, and he's run with it. He's played great in the spring. Everything anyone's writing about or talking about, he's looking good going into the fall. If he can play well in the fall, I think he's going to play a lot in this rotation. I honestly think he probably gets the second or third most snaps. So look out for Jare Bledsoe in his sophomore season. And then the guy that's second to me right now is Jermaine Lole. 19 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks at Louisville last year. But his 2019 season, this is special, guys. This is all-American type stuff. 72 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 6.5 sacks. If he could repeat that season, he's an All-American. He won't, though, because of the injuries. They've taken a toll. That's why he's in his 7th year. I just need last year's production. I need 20 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. Give me that and a little bit more, and we're talking. We're talking. Because if you can get that, and then 2 or 3 of these guys also do that, you made it the production in aggregate of what Sweat and Murphy did. And that's what I think you have here. Bill Norton's a good player. TSV is a good player. I think Aaron Bryant's going to be a pretty good player. Jure Bledsoe's going to play and be a good player. Jermaine Lolay's going to play and be a good player. Vernon Broughton, I've kind of given up on. He is what he is. He'll get up there, cause pass rush disruption, but he'll get run over in the run game. But you have a nice mix here. You have guys that are anchors in Bill Norton and Aaron Bryant. And then I think Sadir Mitchell, if he gets his weight together, can be that. And then the rest of these guys are kind of havoc players, and I think Alfred Collins can do a little bit of both. So I like this room, again, depth-wise. High-end talent is not as good as last year, and I wouldn't expect it to be getting rid of the best, in my opinion, the best defensive tackle combo in the country and probably in the history of Texas football. So hard to replace that. We're not going to be as good as we were there last year. We were an A+ there last year. But do I think we can be a B+? Yes, I do. I think there's enough talent here. And Sadir Mitchell, my God, man, please, I will eat my words. They could be an A+ in the interior if he's actually 350. If he's actually 350, we're talking special defensive line. We're talking special because I like the edges, but the interior is my question mark. But I do think Alfred Collins will have a good year. He's always had a good year. Can he have a great year is the question. And all these other guys will get playing time. I think it's going to be Alfred Collins, Tremaine Lolay to start out. I think if we're talking snap-wise, you're going to see Tia Savia and Bill Norton next, and then you'll see Jure Bledsoe and Aaron Bryant in there too. I think Vernon Broughton's actually going to get pushed out. I really do. No offense, you've been here too long, man, and you haven't produced. So I think he'll play, but I think we'll end up being 5th or 6th in snaps at the end of the year. Next up is the second cornerback position. It's going to be Gavin Holmes or Javion Cole. Gavin Holmes, in last year, 14 games, 16 tackles, 2 passes defended. He actually had a high Pro Football Focus grade, upper 70s, but he needs to get back to this. This is why he came to the University of Texas. This is why he's recruited to the University of Texas. 2022 Wake Forest. 23 tackles, 9 passes defended. I believe he was second team All-ACC. Has to get back to that form because if not, I think this guy's going to start at the cornerback position. Javion Cole last year was great. 13 games, 38 tackles, 10 passes defended, 3 interceptions, a 40.8 passer rating when targeted, 86.2 Pro Football Focus grade, number 1 in the Mountain West. Yes, is it the Mountain West? Yes, it is. But he's done a great job when he played good competition. He did. If you go watch the USC game, he was great in that game. I think he was targeted 4 or 5 times. I think they only completed 1 pass. I didn't watch the Oregon State game, but if you have an 86.2 Pro Football Focus grade and a 40.8 pass rating, I'm assuming you did pretty well. This guy's a ball hawk. If you watch him, he's a ball hawk. He knows how to play the ball. That is something Texas has been missing for a while at the cornerback position. Honestly, the secondary in general has been missing that. Gavin Holmes is a little bit more physical. Could I see a platoon like you did last year with Gavin Holmes and Terrence Brooks? Absolutely. I could see Gavin Holmes actually playing on running downs and coming in because he's more physical. I could see Javion Cole coming in on obvious passing situations, 3rd and 7+ type thing, or 2nd and 10+. I could see Javion Cole coming in and Gavin Holmes coming out because this guy makes plays on the ball. He fits the scheme. He does what PK likes to do, which is turnovers, create havoc. I think he can play for this Texas team. I really do. I think he's going to have a good year. He'll get some playing time. I think he's our second best cornerback as of right now. I think Kobe Black, the 5-star, could come in, but I'm not a fan of Gavin Holmes. He was way too inconsistent last year, and inconsistency in the SEC will get you killed. Javion Cole's more consistent, plays the ball better. We have enough run defenders on this team. I don't care if my cornerback's bad at stopping the run or even being physical at the line of scrimmage. Hell, you guys played off coverage most of the time last year anyway. So if you want to play off coverage, play Javion Cole. If you're going to actually press man coverage, fine, play Gavin Holmes. But you haven't done it while you've been here, PK. So why not run Javion Cole, who can play the ball better out there? So we'll see. But if they do want to play press man, maybe they do with Gavin Holmes, goes with Gavin Holmes as well. Maybe Javion Cole's more of a off man or zone guy. We'll see. It'll be interesting. It really is. A lot of these battles are interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. That is all my battles for the fall camp and what to look out for. Again, please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate you guys being here for the 15th edition and fall battles plus recruiting update. We're almost here, guys. The season is almost here. I'm going to be here every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Share this out, like it, subscribe, share it with all your friends, your family, your neighbors, all your football lovers. And I'm going to start adding a show in when the season kicks off or when Sark starts speaking again. I will come in, we'll do a show, react to that. So you're going to get 2 shows a week now once that starts back up again. So please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Again, go over to the SEC channel and subscribe there. We are, I think, about 150 away from 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit that before the season starts. So go over there and like that. Go over to the USC show tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Like their content, subscribe. They do a fantastic job, Tim and Matt. And also, use the Amazon link. Does not change the experience whatsoever. All it does is put a little bit of money in Mark's pocket. That's all it does. Please use that. It's in the description of every video. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys for being here again for the 15th edition of Texas Longhorns Here Live. I am your host, Matthew Miller. You can find me right there on X. I really appreciate you guys being here. And we're almost there, guys. The season is almost here, and I get to talk real football. I love breaking down these battles. As the more intel comes, we will update these battles as well. So please hit that like button and subscribe. Hook 'em, guys.